waiting for me, so just short, okay?
So obviously, everyone's talking about Joshua Wilder.
I'm not.
Fair enough, not everybody.
I'm not talking about Joshua.
But what I wanted to know is,
Hope he's having a nice weekend wherever he is.
what I wanted to know is it just the fact that there are 3 unbeaten guys at heavyweight that's brought this division back to where it needs to be?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. You have 3 championship caliber men who have never lost in the ring fighting, and 2 of them are actually willing to fight each other. And it's happening this Saturday night at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. That's good news for the heavyweight division. That's good news for boxing. It's also going to change the landscape of the heavyweight division. I mean, I'm not talking about how much business this does, and Eddie can talk as much as he wants about how much business this is going to do or not. That's not what's so important here. What's important here is that a superstar is going to emerge Saturday night in the division, and his name's not Anthony Joshua. And it's going to create a changed leverage, where if people want a fight to happen, they're going to have to sit down, not negotiate through Twitter, not make believe they're Donald Trump and be Twitter warriors. They got to sit down, close the door in a room when they're ready to fight and say, let's make this deal happen. We already know that Wilder wants to fight Joshua. We already know that Fury would have fought Joshua right now if it was put in front of him. People made a business decision. It wasn't the right time for them. Saturday night, there's a great fight in the ring. I'm not looking past Saturday night. I know Fury can box his ass off. He's one of the slickest, fleet of foot, best technically boxing heavyweights I've ever seen. But he's got to fight a guy that has the hammer of Thor, literally. And Tyson could be winning 7 rounds to 2. And if he gets caught, the fight's over. And if he gets caught, the fight's over, period, even if it's not a knockout punch. If he is hurt, that's when the Tasmanian, everyone talks about the wild punches and the Tasmanian devil. When you're hurt and the Tasmanian devil's whizzing at you, it's over. And I expect a really competitive fight on Saturday night. I think it's good. For a while it'll be a boxing match, and then a brawl's going to break out, and I think then it's going to favor in a big way Deontay. I expect Deontay to win, but I don't look past the guy as good as Fury.
Everyone talks about Wilder's not as well known as he should be. Is this the moment he breaks out?
Yeah, this is the moment he breaks out, but stop with that bullshit too. I mean, with all due respect, we're in a different country. You go over to the UK, and if I walk down the street with a guy that if he was here would be a second-tier guy, he's a superstar walking down the street. Here, the majority of our champions could walk through the middle of Times Square, and if they're not in boxing clothes, they're not going to be recognized.
Is that because of the size of the country, like Deontay said?
It's not only, the size of the country a little bit, it's more the competition for sports attention. Boxing gets a very small percentage of sport budget in the United States. The NFL is a religion, it's huge. Major League Baseball is a national pastime. The NBA is like a rock concerts. It's immense. You have hockey here as another team sport. And soccer, what you call football, soccer here is also a real sport. Our competition for eyeballs is much greater here. The other thing is on your end of the pond, you treat your fighters differently. You guys are much more nationalistic in boxing. You support your own. Even your Commonwealth champions and your British champions. And most of those guys with small titles here, no one knows who they are. In the UK, those guys are stars. And guys that are not even of the world-class level, are treated with tremendous attention and respect. It takes a lot more for a fighter to be a star here. Mayweather's not even active. He's a retired fighter. He's probably the biggest, star in America. And there are a lot of people, if you say, who's the heavyweight champion, there are people you walk down the street, and this has been the case for years, that'll tell you Mike Tyson. But, you have to remember also, when Tyson retired, when Bo left, when Holyfield left, and the Klitschko's were dominating the heavyweight division, heavyweight boxing, for the most part, disappeared in the United States. There was no boxing on pay-per-view. There was no big-time heavyweight boxing. We didn't even have top contenders. Deontay's pretty much trying to carry the heavyweight division on his back alone. And he's done the best he can, even with a lot of obstacles. His popularity has risen. I think you know that. It's risen dramatically. It's risen in the UK. He's certainly well known in the UK now. He's well known around the world. His social media following internationally is huge. But Saturday night is his defining moment. He's going to make the most of it. He's going to knock out Tyson Fury, December 1, Staples Center, Showtime pay-per-view. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a close fight. Fury's a dangerous opponent. But that hammer of Thor at some point is going to land.
Lou, if he does, as you say, knock out Tyson Fury, what percentage do you ask for going into the age?
No percentages. No one's talking percentages. Anyone who's talking percentages publicly doesn't really want to make a fight. You don't know what percentages this fight's made under. You don't know the terms of this fight. You just know a deal was made.
You mentioned at the start.
When Eddie and AJ and Robert McCracken, who's a great trainer and I think has quite a bit to say there also, when they're ready to make a deal, people are going to go into a room, close the door, and a deal will be made.
Do you think they never wanted a deal for this date?
No, they never wanted a deal for this date. Of course not.
Why do you think that is?
I don't have to get into why. You know why. You're asking a rhetorical question. They didn't want to. They could continue to make a lot of money without fighting the most dangerous guy on earth. By the way, I'm not shitting on him for it. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you're a coward, you're a chicken, you're a this, you're a that. No, you're making a lot of money. And you want to continue making a lot of money before you get knocked out.
Because Hearn's point of view was that the speculation about going into the fight.
Eddie.
His point of view was that
I talk to Eddie a lot these days. Eddie, you know what? Eddie spins a good, tale, and Eddie spins. He knows what to do with a microphone. He's representing his guy the best way he knows how, and the guy's making a lot of money. And he's making a lot of money without fighting Deontay Wilder. Now I want to tell you something. Saturday night, if Deontay looks sensational and he's the man, there's going to be a whole lot of money in a Wilder AJ fight when it happens. And whenever there's that much money at stake, and by the way, if Fury were to win too, the same will be true. The winner of Saturday night, the leverage, the game changes. It's a game changer.
So the percentage will get bigger for Deontay Wilder?
The percentage will get bigger for whoever wins on Saturday night.
50-50?
We'll see. You never know. If AJ keeps waiting, maybe it'll be 60-40 our way.
Thanks, Luke.
Whenever you bet Fred.